This factor can make a huge difference in how productive you are. You have literally no idea how important the place where you work and live is, and today I'll tell you why. But first, I'll share with you a story from my life that taught me location matters. When I started working in Web3 space, I hustled 14 hours a day and can be proud of my results. Yes, it was a job for hire, but it was extremely dynamic. Something always was happening around me and I needed to be switched on all the time. I worked in our modern office, I was in touch with my teammates, and together we did incredible results. I even had 2 months when I personally brought the company more than half of its total revenue. And it wasn't a startup, there were approximately 60 employees. At some point, because of the obvious reasons, I had to switch to the remote work, and of course my productivity dropped. I didn't feel this endless movement, I felt locked inside my apartment, and of course it put a mental pressure on me. I can't say that it wasn't comfortable. I was using my headphones, listening to my favorite music, hustling as before, but it was a bit more difficult to remove all the background noises, all things that were distracting me. However, I want to tell you not even about this, because everybody understands what remote work is, so we won't stay on this. I want to focus on the fact that at some point me and my girlfriend we decided to move to a new apartment to have at least a bit more space. It was almost 4 times more expensive than our previous flat, but it wasn't only about the comfort. Mostly we were thinking about the condition that this place will give us. It's funny, but I paid off the cost of 3 months of accommodation at the very day when we arrived in the new flat. I thought it was a good sign, and basically I didn't make a mistake in it. In our new place I had a separated room and I was only working and doing nothing else. I associated it only with job and did it quite successfully. When I was in my home office, nothing was able to distract me because I was there alone, only with my laptop. By the way, one more fact. When I decided to buy myself a new MacBook in order to work faster and have better results, I also covered all my expenses at the same day. I don't know how, but it happened. In my working room, I created an atmosphere that always boosted me and prevented from getting tired. Firstly, I always was working staying on the ground. I didn't use a chair, and it helped me a lot to be energized. Do you know this feeling when sitting on a chair and leaning on its back, you suddenly feel that you fall asleep? You relax your body more and more. Your arms lie on the armrest. And by the way, your back usually takes an unnatural position, and because of that hurts. So you don't have this problem if you don't use a chair and working only when you are staying. I've heard about one guy who used a treadmill to work at the same time, and I believe that this is the new level for me as well. Considering how much I love to walk, I believe that the only thing I need to find out is how to fix the laptop near me and do this in a convenient way. Man, just think about it, you make sport while you're working. Secondly, I turned off all the lights around me. It removed all the unnecessary noises and make even fewer things to be able to distract me. By the way, I've never put away the phone. It's very convenient to stay in touch and check all the incoming messages with it. The most crucial here is not to use it if it's not necessary. For me, working in the dark is like to be in the cinema. You are fully concentrated on one stuff, actually, why you are here, to work. But I also can admit that for different people it can be not the same. Third, I always ventilated the room very well and I drank a lot of cold water, and your organism, your brain start to work like a clockwise. I like when it's cold, and to be honest, when I just moved to Bali, it was quite tough for me to accept this climate. But you usually get accustomed to such stuff, right? The cold weather makes your brain receive more blood and it starts to work better. Have you actually noticed then when it's warm around you, you feel asleep? This is what I'm talking about. In addition, the good rest, pure water and fresh air, they purify our body, helping to be even more productive and sustaining the tone. In general, it was an amazing investment to go to a new flat and have my own home office. I didn't regret about it. I want to share with you my 3 takeaways about why the location matters and why, precisely because of the location where you live and work, some goals seem to be unattainable, but they are not. First, the right place changes the way of thinking. Here I want to say that for any person, the right place is unique, and it also can vary depending on the stages of his life. For example, many want to live only in summer and forget about the coolness. I understand this, but I don't want to stay in Bali for long. It's already becoming not so easy for me to live outside the big city. But I know for sure that there are a lot of people who treat megapolises negatively and they prefer to live on the countryside. So, when you'll find your place, you'll feel that you have less negative thoughts, you enjoy the life better and you just think differently. You know, the level of enjoyment of a life, it directly affects our mental health. When you are home, you feel happiness and safe because you are surrounded by all these items that have story, that have importance for you. And when you leave, you miss your place, to be honest. And what affects the way of thinking more than the level of satisfaction of your life. When you're ready to make a new breakthrough, you start to want more. You increase your life standards and give yourself a push to raise the bar. This is how the growth is happening. But speaking about the right place, you shouldn't forget that it could be not a flat, but maybe a country or a city. Many people want to leave their parents or maybe go somewhere in a different country to live there. As for me, I also don't want to stay in one place for a long time, to be honest. Some people will realize their potential living in Miami. For other ones, Dubai or London will be the great suit. I think it's crucial to correctly evaluate all pros and cons of the location where you want to live. And after that, just boldly make this step. Try. You'll find your perfect place only in this case. As for me, for instance, I would love to go to New York and I believe that I'll open new horizons for me there. One more time, my ideal place, it won't be the same as yours. And by the way, if you are in the relations, you also should consider the interest of your partner. Second, the right place gives you the right ideas and the ability to implement them. When you'll find it, inspiration and right thoughts will come into your brain automatically. The only thing you'll need to do is to take action and implement it. Thanks to that particular apartments I described to you earlier, I developed a new system to count my finances, and also with Masha, with my girlfriend, we increased the quality of our relations and now we're on the next level. There are endless possibilities around them, but in order to see them, you need to start thinking in a new way. I would have missed so many opportunities if I haven't moved to Moscow and then to Indonesia. You know, each new location, it opens a new door for us. Did you have some periods when nothing inspiring was happening for a long time? You just didn't have enough good ideas, man. Have you ever thought that this is due to the fact that you're in the wrong place? I believe many people don't even connect this. Yes, in the age of internet, you have the opportunity to grow even being very far from the civilization. The most important thing is just to find the connection to the network. But I want you to think about the difference in mindset. And by the way, there is one more stuff you can do in order to understand how the place affects your thinking. Try to analyze your life or something else difficult being in the sauna. You will see that it's not so easy. The influence of the environment will be so tangible that you even won't be able to concentrate. But you just enter the room with a separated climate inside, nothing else. You can open the door and go out. Why not to do the same with your life? Third, the right place gives you a better sense of the life. You just get rid of negative, you can concentrate on your mental health and the amenities provided by your beloved home. When I was living with my parents and already developed all these ambitions inside, of course I felt a lot of restrictions, I wanted to break free. Was I happy then? As a son and brother, yes. But as a man who is trying to find himself in this world, definitely not. Then I had the life of a boy who hasn't yet become a man, but I wanted to change it and eventually I did. Do you know when it happened? Yes, that's right, it happened when I first started to live by my own and moved from my parents. That time I was 16, but to be honest, after that I came back and next just lived one more time, but for good. Those emotions, knowledge and experience that I received when I decided to do this, they completely changed my life. By the way, if you are going to move from your parents, don't make this common mistake of all teenagers. Don't use all this addictive stuff. Speaking about the feel of life, I don't consider drugs, alcohol and idle lifestyle. I don't support it at all. But it depends on you. Just be updated about the laws of your country. Treat the life as something green and clean, because only in this way you will be able to feel all its charms without being destructive. So I'm convinced that the place where we live and work, it has a direct impact on how happy and productive we are in this life. Try to honestly ask you, do I love this place where I live? Do I want to change it, and how can I do this? Be straightforward. I wish you to find your perfect place where you'll feel opportunities and freedom. It depends only on you. Where will you live? Guys, thank you for watching my videos, for following my channels. I so appreciate it. So, if you like this video, please give me your like. If you don't, give me your dislike. And really hope to see you tomorrow.